Hello. It's been a week or two, and I'm sorry for being gone for a week because I was just brain rotting and playing video games for the past week, and I didn't feel like making any videos. But in this video, I'm going to be reading all of Alice in the Country of Hearts in
24 hours.
Now, I gave myself 5 hours because I think I read faster than that. I think I can hold it under 5 hours. But I'm still not sure. This is my first time reading an entire series in one point. And yeah, after hopefully this week again I'll have another video out, or next week, and that's gonna be a review on Gachi Yakuta Volume 1 and Episode 1 for the series, for the anime that just came out. So let me give you a backstory on how I found out about Alice in the Country of Hearts and how I have the manga. Imagine you're at a comic book convention. There's booths everywhere, and you're just walking around trying to find any manga that you'd like, or just anything in general, like statues or anything. And then you come up on this one stand that has some manga. So you decide to look through it. Look, there's a couple series that you're iffy on buying. There's some that seem kind of interesting, and then there's one that stands out to you. Alice in the Country of Hearts. Now, I look at this series and I'm like, what is this? I've never heard of this series, and it's from Tokyo Pop. And so I asked the lady, what is this series? And then she says something like, oh, this series is pretty good. There's 5 single volumes that are out, and it's discontinued. And just from those words, I was like, this sounds really good. And then I was like, does it end on volume 5? And then she was like, no, but it only goes up to volume 5 unless I buy the omnibus for volume 6. But I'm not gonna do that because, yeah, I don't even know if I like this series. I've never read it before, so, and then I just buy it because it seems kind of interesting. And then I bring it home, I put it in the shelf, and I don't touch it for 3 months. Time to start reading Alice in the Country of Hearts. And no, this is not Alice in Borderland. Well, obviously, it's a different name, but yeah, this is not Alice in Borderland. We're starting this at 6:42, and let's get into it. It's the next day, and I'm done Volume 1. You might be wondering why it took me so long. I want to watch YouTube videos, so yeah. But now it's time to start Volume 2, and the time is 11:35. So, time to read volume 2. I'm done volume 2. Now it's time to read volume 3. Yeah, volume 3. And so far, out of the 2 volumes I've read, volume 2 was way more interesting. So let's see if this one's gonna become the best one yet. Just finished volume 3 and wasn't as good as volume 2. I still like it. Now it's time to read volume 4. Just finished volume 4. Now I can finally move on to the final volume, volume 5. And that was probably my second favorite volume. That was a really good one. And time to read volume 5 and finish this. I'm officially done Alice in the Country of Hearts, and the time is 3:40, and time to talk about what I think of this series. I am officially done Alice in the Country of Hearts. What was my favorite book out of all of them? Volume 2. Why? Because it felt like it had the most story. Like, yeah. Okay. Let me see what Alice in the Country of Hearts is like. Basically, there's a girl named Alice, and she gets kidnapped by this guy named Peter White that's like a rabbit human type of thing, and then she gets put into a different country through like a giant hole. Then he jumps in holding her, and then she falls into the hole. It's a whole thing, and then she needs to she needs to do a lot of things inside of the country to get her to get out of the hole. And this series doesn't end on volume 5. I know that it doesn't end on volume 5, but that's the last single that exists. So it only goes up to volume 5 in singles. I mean, I could get the omnibuses, but for now, that's not one of my main priorities. Now, how did it end? The ending of Alice in the Country of Hearts, it had someone, basically, to escape, she needed this glass, little tube thing to be filled with, a bunch of juice. and after she did a bunch of stuff inside the country, the thing was filled. So for me, I'm just gonna assume that she got out of the place alive. That's, yeah. Who's my favorite character? My favorite character is Peter White, the one that kidnapped her here. I don't think a lot of people would like him, but for me, I just think he's a cool character. Even though he's a little weird, I like him. And yeah, so volume 2 is my favorite one, and then volume 5 would be my second favorite one, and volume probably 3. Volume 3 would be my third favorite. Then volume 4 is probably my fourth favorite, and then volume 1 is my final favorite. Now I'm officially done Alice in the Country of Hearts, so I can finally put this away. Put it away after, but you might see here, right here, there's some other series. You might be saying, Joseph, what series is that? Well, after finishing Alice in the Country of Hearts, I went manga shopping. So let me show you what I got. First thing I got, Mob Psycho 100 Volume 4. Yay! I really like Mob Psycho 100. I haven't read a lot of the manga yet, but the reason is because I've been watching the anime, and so far I really like it. I just haven't had the time to read it because I've been spam playing Minecraft. Second series is Sakamoto Days Volume 11, Volume 12, Volume 13, Volume 14, and Volume 15. Oh, yeah. Volume 15. For me, it shows the cameras backwards. Just hoping that it's not going to be backwards when I actually look at the recording. And then the last series is my favorite series that I told you guys that I'm gonna make a video on why Gachi Akuda is my favorite series. This is volume 7 that just came out like 3 days ago or something. And I'm really surprised that they actually had it. I went to a comic book store because I heard that there was manga there. So then I look for the manga and I don't see any. I see they had all of Gachi Akuda 1 to 6. And I was like, wow, that's surprising. And then I saw that they had new releases for manga. So I go to the new releases section and I find Gachi Akuda Volume 7. And I'm so happy to finally have this. I've been waiting maybe 2 months. And once I finish reading this, then I can finally make the Gachi Akuda video. So, yeah. I'm officially done reading Alice in the Country of Hearts. And the final rating for Alice in the Country of Hearts will be, drum roll please, 6.9 out of 10. Or maybe 6.7.
Subscribe!